If you want to buy a small SUV, usually you would buy the Renault Kiga or maybe the Renault Duster, or maybe just a small, Volkswagen SUV such as the T-Cross and the T-Roc. Well, today I'll be telling you about my favorites between the new Opel Mokka and the current Volkswagen Taigo. Yes, today I'll be putting them head to head against each other. I'm Junior, and you're watching Junior on Cars. So right, let's get into the video, and we start off as the traditional, as we know it. Junior on Cars, we start off with the price tag. So the price tag of the new Opel Mokka will cost you around 469,000 rand. If you want to upgrade to the sportier version, which is the GS line model, you will pay around 519,000 rand, which does sound quite a lot, but I'm not going to focus actually on the GS line model. I'm going to focus more on the Opel Mokka, which is the reason why I'm actually shooting this car, because it's a city SUV which everybody wants to buy, which everybody has actually currently, which I'm gonna say because I want to. Well, we're gonna start off with the horsepower, actually with the engine, which is a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine which produces 96 brake horsepower and 230 newton meters of torque. 0 to 62 time is around 10.1 seconds, and flat out it can do 200 kilometers apparently. Well, besides the stats wise, you also get a good fuel tank which is around 44 liters, which is absolutely perfect because if you want to go grocery shopping or take your children to school or take them back from school, or you just want to cruise around in the city, or just do whatever you do with that car, which is leisure car. Well, speaking of groceries and children, the boot is a bit of a problem because it only has around listen to this, 105 liters, which is less than the T-Cross and is also less than the T-Roc. So it's not really perfect. It's kind of losing right now, which is sad because I do like the SUV because it's very nice. It looks urban, it looks modern, and all those stuff. Well, I'm gonna go back to the stats wise because I forgot to mention one thing about that car, which is actually much modern now. It's not actually in the past. Well, most cars now have changed. The revolution of gearboxes have actually changed more because you don't get manuals anymore in most cars, such as the GT3 RS. This year you get a 8-speed dual clutch automatic PDK, of Porsche calls it. It's a bit of a problem. Well, it's also in this new Opel Mokka, which is not actually new. You get an 8-speed automatic gearbox which has flappy pedals. Well, the problem with flappy pedals in SUVs, it's not really good because the ratios of changing gears is not nice. They're kind of slow, just like the Haval Julienne, which I know someone who has it. I have sat in the car before. The gears are kind of slow to catch up. Even if you put it in automatic that it can sort its brain out, it's still a bit of a problem. So yeah, it's not really looking good. And as we're into problems, I would also like to mention the slope of the car. The design of the Opel Mokka surely looks beautiful, looks great, looks urban, and looks modern. Well, there's a backseat problem. Well, if you're 3 at the back and you're as tall as I am, which I'm around 4 or 5 foot, I think, if you're sitting in the back in the middle, you're not really gonna enjoy it because you're just gonna be banging around and your head is not gonna have enough headspace. Because I sat at the back, my head is kind of tall, or I think it's my hair, but it doesn't really fit nicely. It doesn't actually make me feel comfortable because I'm scared that every time I hit let me say a pothole, maybe a speed hump, my head will be going poof. You see, it's not really nice. It's not really comfortable. Even though it does have comfy suspension and very soft wheels that you can, absorb the bumps and everything, it's not really good. And I'll also jump into the front seat. Well, the seats in the front seat are very nice. They're not the problem. The problem is the layout of the infotainment system. Surely it looks nice, it looks modern. I know it looks very, very good. But there's a big problem. There's more plastic than glass. Well, the screen is very small. It looks more like an iPhone 6 than actually a car screen, an infotainment system, an infotainment screen. There's more plastic at the back, then there's more glass. Well, it's more like Mercedes-like and more, BMW-like, but it's not really looking good because the Mercedes, it has a proper full display with around 8.5 inch and something. This is around 2 to 3 inch because it's hella small, and also the speedometer is very small. I'm not sure do they have a head-up display, but it doesn't very look good on the Layout, yeah, there's more things to make it up. Well, the layout of the gearbox, which is like it has drive modes and automatic and reverse and parking and everything, so it does have its goods and its bads, the pros and cons, whatever you call it. The door bins are very good, I guess. You can fit a bottle in it, but you're not gonna actually fit in a bigger bottle, such as maybe, let me say, around 1 liter to 2 liters. Not really gonna fit inside, or maybe a water bottle. You can fit a sparkling bottle because it's small, but bigger bottles is not really gonna fit. But you do get space inside to put your whatever you put inside that space in there, and you also do get an armrest, so it's very, very good. Well, let's leave that car for now and let's jump into its competitor, which is the Volkswagen Taigo. Yes, I know the Volkswagen Taigo is quite old because it was introduced first in Mexico and in North America. But I'm also gonna mention it because it has arrived in my country, which is in South Africa, if you don't know where I'm coming from. Well, let's jump in straight into the stats. Well, the Volkswagen Taigo has a 1 liter engine which produces 95 brake horsepower, which is 1 horsepower less than the Opel Mokka. Why couldn't you just make it 97 brake horsepower? 1 more horsepower behind. It's like chasing a dog and a cat. It's not really gonna look good. But the newton meters of torque does stay the same, even though it does have 95 brake horsepower to 110 horsepower apparently. So newton meters of torque does stay the same, which is 200. Both, even if you have 110 or maybe 95. Maybe the 110 is maybe an option to add, but it's still hella slow. If you want to upgrade and you feel like you want to be Van Diesel a little bit, you can actually get a R-Line version which has a 1.5 liter, which produces 150 brake horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque. The 0 to 60 time of the 1 liter is 10.4 seconds, which is 3 seconds slower than the Opel Mokka. Why is it looking so bad already for the Volkswagen Taigo? Why? But like I said, it's 10.4 seconds, which is 3 seconds slower. Like I said, if you want to, you can go to the 1.5 liter, which produces which can do 8.3 seconds, which is good. Top speed of the 1 liter is 119 miles per hour, and the 1.5 liter does it over 132 miles per hour. Yes, I know the 1.5 liter is much more faster, and it's also faster than the Opel Mokka. But the reason why I didn't want to put in the GS line stats is because the GS line has much more than the than the Volkswagen Taigo R line. So that's why I left it out. Yes, I know it's kind of wrong and everything, but bear with me, please. I didn't forget to. The price tag of the Volkswagen Taigo R line before options, listen to this, is around 486,000 rands. So before options, they mean, the brakes, the wheels, the infotainment system, the sporty exhaust which you get in the T-Cross, the T-Cross R line, which is hella fast and sounds very good. You do get as an option, which sounds absolutely perfect. I would take that as an option because it sounds very good, that sporty exhaust on the R-Line T-Cross. But let's leave the T-Cross a little bit. Speaking of the T-Cross, I actually didn't forget. Let me get into the liters, which is the boot space of the car. Well, the boot space, like I said, of the Opel Mokka is 105 liters, which is very good. But the 105 liters is less compared to the Volkswagen Taigos, which has 351 liters to 440 liters, which is, you can actually choose between the two. But even though it's a lot, 351 to 440 liters is hella lot. But it's 15 liters less than its baby brother, the T-Cross, and it's 5 liters less than its other baby brother, the T-Rock. So it's not looking good at all for it. But like I said, performance-wise, it is good on the R-Line. So yeah, but it does have lots of problems on its infotainment system. Well, I think Volkswagen doesn't want to fix this issue, because the Tiguan, the Touran, the Amarok, the Polo, and the Polo the Polo R-Line, they do have this problem, which the infotainment system is quite bad. Well, even if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, it's not really good because the infotainment system is very slow, even if you're using, Apple CarPlay or maybe Android, because the screen is kind of slow to catch up and very sluggish, and it's very annoying. Well, the 1 liter has a 3-cylinder, and the 1.5 liter also has a 3-cylinder. The problem with the 3-cylinder is hella noisy. That's its biggest problem. If you're going on a long distance, you're gonna actually notice how it makes that sound, because of, if you're close to the maximum speed of the car, it does sound absolutely horrible. It sounds like it's bashing each other against the cars, caterpillar and everything. So it doesn't sound very, very nice. And the ride is not really perfect if you're choosing the R-Line version, which you can have, sporty stuff and everything. It doesn't really feel comfortable because of the suspension. If you're going into humps, it's just like, so it's very, very bad. It doesn't really make you feel comfortable, even though the seats are very comfortable. Well, just like the Opel Mokka, it does have a sloping roof. That is the biggest problem with the small SUVs. They have this sloping roof. Just like the Opel Mokka, if you're as tall as I am and you're sitting at the back, you're not really gonna feel comfortable because of all that bashing around the car. So it's not really gonna make you feel comfortable. But it does have a lot of problems. Like I said, even the tire noise is horrible. Long distance, same story. The vent brings in so much air if it's going through, if you have windy days and everything. It does make a lot of tire noise coming into the cabin, so it's not really comfortable. So yeah. So as we all know, there's a conclusion, like I said, and everything, which my conclusion is, if you want to buy a small SUV, well, you can buy the Opel Mokka. It's my favorite, so buy the Opel Mokka over the Volkswagen Taigo. If you like this video, please give it a like, or if you want to, you can go to our Instagram page to go and watch more content that we make, and actually I make, because I'm the star of the videos, which you can go and watch. Or if you want to, you can just go and hop onto my French channel, which at the bottom you can go and visit, which is Kasi Chill Talk. Please give a lot of support for the local people and people who just make a living. So best podcast of Bloemfontein and best podcast of the year. So please go and follow the channel, and please follow my Instagram page at Junior on Cars to watch more content. Same thing on Twitter, Junior on Cars. So yeah, bye.